Alright, hey everyone, my name is Storybot69 and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to do the Magnesis bullet time bounce. Now, this is a trick that is used in the any percent speedrun of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It is also used in a ton of other categories, so it is pretty crucial if you are wanting to learn how to speedrun this game. So the first thing I do here, actually, how I'm going to be doing this is a recording of me doing the bullet time bounce. And I'm starting off in the Cryonis Shrine. Um, in pretty much every run, you do the Cryonis Shrine second. So what we're doing is we're spawning at the Cryonis Shrine right after we've beat it. You're supposed to shield surf over but here I already did that and it saved me right here, so I'm just gonna run. So the first thing I actually do is to get slate storage. Now if you don't know what slate storage is, you should watch I have a tutorial on my channel about slate storage. So I would suggest watching that after this video so you know how to do the BTB, as I'll be assuming that you already know how to do it in that video. So let's move on with the setup. So I'm gonna play this before I actually explain everything. I'm gonna play it without me talking, and then I'm gonna go back and talk about every individual thing. So here is it with no commentary. Okay, so that was a lot. um, yeah, so basically, it looks like I just flew. I just jumped off of Boko and just flew to Magnesis, and I landed right in front of Magnesis, and then I magically just phased through the wall. How on earth did I do that? Well, let me explain. First thing I do here is a trick called slate storage. I've already talked about it. I have a tutorial about it. The next thing I do here actually is pretty important. So right here, okay, right here, there's this little line. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little line that is right after you walk up here. You can actually perfectly see it. You can see it very clearly. Right here. Right there. See that line right there? I am walking up to that line while holding ZL. And what I'm doing is I'm having Link's shield be parallel with the line. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm trying to have this little line here, basically the edge of the rock cliff, and I'm having Link's shield be parallel with this line. Alright, so when holding ZL, Link will not fall off of certain surfaces. It's almost like a protection that when you're holding ZL, Link won't fall off of certain ledges, and this is one of those ledges. This is not one of those ledges, so you have to be careful in the next step. But for this, you can just walk forward, and Link won't fall off. I'm doing that just to kind of make sure that Link is parallel with the shield, and I want to be as far close to the wall as possible. This invisible wall that is created when Link is holding out his shield over top of a cliff, I want to get as close to that as possible. So now that I've lined up with that wall, I am moving left until right here. There we go. So there's this little cross right here. So basically think of it as like it's a point coming out of the mountain. And there's 3 lines to this point. One line is right here that I'm following my cursor with. The other line is the one that we just lined up with to have Link's shield parallel with. And the other is this little line all the way down here. Now all 3 of these lines come together to make one point. And that point, I want to have this thing, which is basically a little metal buckle on Link's quiver. I'm putting that to the left of this point, just to the left. And it's got to be pretty precise. So you saw for a split second I had it. I got it. So I moved on to the next step. Right there. Link's buckle is to the left of that little point. Alright, so that's step 2. Step 3 is to pull out the bow and aim between these 2 lines. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's one line here, one line, well, not lines, they're points. So there's one point here, that's the left one, and the right one is this point right there. So it's a little hard to see at first, but after you speedrun the game a little bit and try this for yourself, you'll see the points very clearly. One thing to note, if you're having trouble seeing these points, if you're in a new save file, I wouldn't worry about it. As long as you're following the speedrun tutorial, you will be fine. You should be able to see these points. But if you're having trouble seeing the points and you're not on a new game file, set the time to 5:15 in the morning. Um, Obviously, weather is going to be an issue um, because in the speedrun, it's always clear and it's always at 5:15. So if you sleep at a campfire until morning, right next to the shrine, then you'll be at the right time, just the perfect time that you can see these 2 points in pretty much any weather. Okay, so the next step after this, once you have your little crosshair in between these 2 points, just like I have here, the next step is to look at this little line that my cursor is following, this little line right here. It will always be to the left of Link's ear. It will always be to the left of Link's ear. So this little line, we want to move Link a little more to the left. Basically just a little tap so that this line is lined up with the bottom of Link's ear right here. That's what we're trying to do, is line up this little thing with the bottom of Link's ear. Once you have that, one way to know that you got it is when Link's knee does this, when it kind of juts out and then bends right back into itself. If Link's leg is extended down, then you need to move more to the left so that Link kind of like basically owls onto this, does an owl pose on this mountain here. Alright, so once you're lined up with that, the next thing to do is to aim. Don't shoot. This is the part where we're going to shoot the arrow to alert the Bokos. So we're going to be on a time limit from here on out, a pretty strict time limit. So the left dot is right here, and the right dot is right on my cursor. So we want our cursor to be, or our like arrow to shoot just to the left of the right dot. So you can see, here's the right dot, here's my cursor, and that little point is where we want to shoot. Alright, so we shot, and we alerted the Bokos. That's good. There are some fails that can happen from that step, but As long as you shot to the left of that, don't worry about it. You got it. Another thing, yeah, just to the left of it. That's it. Alright, so the next part. After I line up, then I shoot. We want to put Link's angle. We want to make up Link's angle. So we want to have this cursor right inside this little X. You'll know it's the X because it's like a dark spot, but it's pretty much to the north of everything else. Like all these other dark spots, it's pretty much to the north of all of those, or up to all of those. It's pretty much just right up here. That's where we want to aim our bow. Instead of shooting this time, we want to cancel our bow by pulling out our axe. And make sure immediately when you pull out the axe to look down. Look all the way down. You want to basically have a top-down view of Link. And while the Boko is walking towards Link, make it so that you're kind of like this, where the Boko is heading straight on for Link. Like there's an invisible line that's right with Link and the Boko. The next step here is watch the Boko's right arm. Right here. The Boko's arm is going to reach this little line up here. This little gray spot here. And when his arm reaches that little spot, that's when you want to start swinging your axe. So, let's run it through. The Boko's lined up. Then his arm reaches this little dark spot, and then I swing my axe. You want to swing your axe twice. So, that's actually kind of fast. Okay, so here we go. Press X 2 times. So you want to swing it the first time, swing it the second time. And then this kind of goes pretty fast. Okay, so first time, second time. So when Link's axe is in this position, where it's to the left of him, but also parallel with this little line, or just kind of flat horizontally, that's when we want to do a shield jump. If you have troubles doing a forward shield jump, I suggest when you start swinging your axe, you hold up on the analog stick, and then after you press Y for the second swing, hold A, and then when you're ready to jump, just press X, and you'll instantly do a shield jump. So, alright, so let me run it through again, because I know that was a lot. So you're lined up with the Boko. The Boko's arm reaches this little gray spot. Actually, it's before this. Reaches the little gray spot right here. You swing your axe once. You swing it immediately afterwards again. Now, while you're swinging your axe, you start to hold up. After the second swing, hold A and up and ZL all at the same time. Then when your axe gets to here, where it's kind of horizontal, maybe a little more like horizontally maybe. Once it looks about there, press X and you'll do a shield jump. As you can see, it was actually horizontal before I did a shield jump. Now this is the hardest part of the whole thing, and this part is crucial if you want to get the most distance with this BTB. So pretty much, we just lined it up so that when Link jumps, the Boko is going to swing his head, and he's going to swing his head over to the right. When he swings his head over to the right, his butt is kind of to the left. And yeah, his butt is kind of to the left of him. And we can see it very clearly, his lower back right here. And that's our visual cue for when we want to pull out the bow and go into bullet time. Hence the name bullet time bounce. Pretty much, as you can see, Link is above the Boko's lower back. And when Link is above the Boko's lower back, that's when you want to pull out your... When you can't see the Boko's lower back anymore, because Link's covering it up, hold ZL. And you'll pretty much pull out your bow. As you can see, let me let this go away. I don't know how to get rid of the HUD, but basically Link's shield down here is right under his butt, right over his lower back. So basically, you're done. Basically, you're done at this point. You've done all the hard things out of the way. Now, when you connect with Boko's lower back and break his spine in half, press Y, and all of that momentum that you just surged into that Boko's lower back, which paralyzed him forever, by the way, you just launched off of him. You're going to use all of that power that you just surged into his back, and you're going to use it by pressing Y to do a shield spin. We're styling on them while we're crippling them. Awesome. So after you press Y, you'll do a shield bounce, and all of your momentum will go into the shield and launch you. Just absolutely, you'll go flying. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, a good note after you do it to see if, you're doing it wrong, don't look at my stamina. My stamina doesn't mean anything. Your stamina is going to be different. You could get this angle perfectly and you are in bullet time for longer. You could do it perfectly and you're in bullet time for a shorter amount of time. It all just kind of depends on what happens. But basically, if you only use like a fourth of your stamina and you got the hit, you pretty much are set for a good angle. If you get 1/3 of your stamina used up, like you could get the perfect angle or you could not get the perfect angle. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm looking at the sun. Because we had Sheikah Slate storage earlier, I don't have to look at the shrine, and I'm trying to increase my chances of the shrine not being loaded in. We're moving so fast that the shrine doesn't have a chance to actually load in. But because of all these random lag spikes, it could load in suddenly. So what I'm using is the mini-map. See this little line? That is the edge of the plateau. So I'm going to use the mini-map, and I'm also looking down to look for the shrine. But around here, you can always just look down at the shrine if you need help, because honestly, unloaded saves like 10 seconds. Like, it doesn't save that much time as long as you get the clip in alright. So I'm pretty much not looking at it. When I'm right here, press any button on the D-pad. This is where slate storage comes in from before. Press any button on the D-pad and you'll fall. Just plummet down and you'll be right next to the shrine. Now, since we did not actually activate the tower, we got to clip in. So basically stand on these two rocks right here next to the pond. Can't miss them. And line up the left rock and the right rock with Link's feet correspondingly. Once you've done that, the next thing to do... Alright, so we did that. We're lined up with the rocks. Alright, just do a forward jump. Oh, wait, I missed a step. So I'm going to throw aim here, and you see this left little thing here? We want to line this up with this. Like that, just like that. So once you've done that, do one forward jump, and then jump again, and then delay it, but do a shield jump midair. And you should land up here, and then Link will put away his shield and slide down. If that happens, you're good. You did it right. Some things that can happen is Link doesn't slide down. If Link doesn't slide at all, then you might have gone a little too late, or you just went a little early. So just kind of adjust your timing based off of that. So now that we did that, we have skew. And skew is what allows us to clip into the shrine. So right here, you see this little triangle up here? Like there's this big donut. And right to the right, there's this little triangle. What I did is I went into the scope, Sheikah scope, and line myself up with that little triangle. Then walk under the triangle and do just a forward jump. Link should attempt to grab onto the wall like that, and that means you know that you are lined up. So then do a backflip. But while you're in the midair, press X, and you'll pull out your axe. Now, what normally would happen is you would swing your axe forward. You don't want to do that. When you hit the ground, immediately do a shield jump, but basically just jump in the air and hold on. You want to go back here, then you jump to cancel the animation. Then when you're at the peak of your jump pull out your shield, or just press A to do a shield jump, and almost immediately unequip your shield. And that's it. Hold forward the whole time, and you'll clip right in. But you're not done. The little pedestal to activate the shrine is actually a little higher up than you, so we have to clip again. So line yourself up like this so that the left and the right are lined up with this little line here. You'll actually see the floor clip in, or maybe you won't. But the floor is basically right above you. And if you line up with the floor, you're pretty much set. And you also need to be in the middle here. It's a little difficult to get in there or squeeze in there, but if you wiggle around a little bit, you will get in there. And then basically do another shield jump and unequip your shield midair. And the game will lag like a lot, but you'll basically clip up into the shrine. And then you can press A to get in. And that's the Magnesis BTB. So let me roll through it once more. One final time. Alright, so I run up here, do slate storage. I have a tutorial on it. Line up this shield perpendicular with the cliff. Move to the left so that the bottom of the quiver is lined up just to the left of the little vertice with these three lines, this little point where the three lines meet. Pull out your bow, aim in between these two dots. There's the right one, there's the left one. Once you're aimed between those, look at this little line right next to the left of Link's ear. Move to the left a tiny bit, not too much, so that Link's ear is lined up with this line right here. The bottom of Link's ear with that line. Once you got that, aim a little bit more to the right so that your cursor is just to the left of the rightmost dot. Shoot, and aim up here to this little X, the most north X actually. There's this little dark spot X, and once you have your cursor onto there, then you cancel your bow by pressing Y to pull out the axe. Swing once, swing twice. Get ready for a shield jump. Once your axe is horizontal like this and facing to the left of Link, do a shield jump. Now that you've done your shield jump, the Boko should be swinging his head over to the right, so his butt is to the left of him. You should be in line with his butt. So basically, when you can't see his butt anymore because Link is covering it up, pull out your bow and hold it out. Once your shield surges into the Boko's lower back, breaking his spine in half, press Y to do a shield surf. And then all of that momentum that you just shoved into the Boko's back goes back into your shield, and you fly. Once you fly, look at your mini-map, because your mini-map will show you where the shrine is without you even having to look at it. If you're uncomfortable doing this, then just look at the shrine. Once you're over top of the shrine, here's where you about want to be in the mini-map, but once you're over top of the shrine, press any button on the D-pad. This is where slate storage comes in. And then you fall down to the ground. Line up Link's left foot with this rock. Line up Link's right foot with this rock. Go into throwaway mode. Line up the left cursor line up the left cursor with this little thing here. Hold on. There it is. Left cursor with this little line here. Once you've lined that up, do a forward jump, then do another forward jump, and while you're in midair, do a shield jump. You should land on up here and skid down. That's how you know you did it right. Pull out your Sheikah to line up with this little triangle up here. Do a forward jump so that you're lined up with the triangle. Do a backflip, but pull out your axe at the same time or slightly afterwards. Once you land on the ground, do a forward jump. Once you're about at the peak of your jump, do a shield surf. Unequip your shield midair and you will clip right in. But we're not done yet. We're too low. So we have to do another clip. Basically, you want to have your left and your right. Um, you basically want to have the left and the right throw aim dashes to be in line with the floor right here. And you want to have link to be in the center of, like, between the left and the right of this here. If you're not in there, it's a little hard to get in, so just wiggle your way in. Then do a shield jump, forward shield jump. You won't really move anywhere, but unequip your shield and the game should lag and you should clip up into it. Spam X to jump to get up higher, and then press A, spam A so that you go right into the shrine.